Dan Bedrosian, how are you, sir? Patrick Pierce, hello. I'm doing well. I'm doing all right, Dan. I'm glad you like the Executioner song crossover stuff because they don't get a lot of views. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm not worried about it, but I'm just kind of surprised. Hi, Jess.
What's up?
Hi, stranger.
Oh, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm just having a little conversation with Daniel Bedrosian here in the comments. But yeah, Dan, it's the last crossover that I remember really, really caring about. Like I was saying, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. So, Jessica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing alrighty.
Yay! We, long time no see, actually don't even have to say it now.
I know, right? I got to see you a week ago. We went Friday, right?
Yep.
Was it Friday? So today.
It's Friday, yeah. I'm eating a cheese stick real fast.
Yeah, Dan Bedrosian, yeah, the Phalanx Covenant. I was not into that crossover with the X-Men either. I know some people were into it, but I was kind of out of it. Yeah, not my jam. I think my brother kind of liked it a lot, but yeah, like you, Dan, the Executioner song, that was the last one that I really was like really invested in. And revisiting those issues, I'm finding myself like still enjoying the story. I'm sure people could pick it apart and point out to me why there are elements to it that are not great, and that's fine, but I'm still having fun. So you know what? I'll not let anyone ruin it for me.
Good for you.
Because I'm a ruiner of things.
Are you?
Sometimes.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, Jess, it's
you know yourself. You know,
it's been a minute, and since we've got to do one of these, and
Yep. It's true. It's true. I know. He asked me yesterday. I was like, I want to. I was like, I have parent conferences, of course.
yeah, and I totally get it. And then I was at work and a friend was stopping in to see me. We had kind of a busy day. So when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, yeah, that thing. I'm like, yeah, I totally am. It skipped my brain.
No, that's fair. That's fair. No, I get you. What you working on today?
I'm trying to work out ideas for the alternate universe versions of the He-Man character story, and I'm basically doing like character designs, trying to get a feel for them. And so I've just been doing pictures of these characters just to kind of get familiar with them, and so that's all.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Dan, you loved Warlock and Doug Ramsey and all that. They took too long to get to it. Yeah, and I didn't ever read any of those stories, Dan. I was vaguely aware of the characters a little bit, but they were kind of done. And Warlock, I think, got blown away in the Extinction Agenda, I think. And so I never really got to know the character, and then I didn't really get to care about the character. So I was kind of late to the game in those X-Men stories. Jessica, I'm assuming you still haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine.
No, because I haven't seen any of the actual Deadpool movies.
You know, in a way, you actually don't even really need to. It would help, but you'd probably have enough fun for the most part,
Yeah.
just on its own.
I am probably one who will go. I will probably rent it when it comes out, like
Yeah.
stream it. That's kind of my go-to anyway.
Someone saying says no spoilers. I'm guessing he hasn't seen it either.
Yeah, that's
Well,
funny.
spoiler: Deadpool's in it, and so is Wolverine.
Okay, you do ruin
Shit.
everything.
Now it's see. I told you I was the ruiner of things.
Yeah, it's all obvious now. Hello, Jessica from
Jessica
Jessica.
Satterwhite.
Looks like. Um, I am going to see Beetlejuice next week.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh no, I don't want to know.
Probably not.
Oh shit. I haven't like read anything about it, nothing. I'm not going with a bunch of high hopes, but my son, my oldest, Mitchell, wants so badly to go to a scary movie for Halloween, a scary-ish movie. He's only 11, so I told him like we'll go see a new Beetlejuice movie.
If do you like the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to again ruin it for you. It was okay.
Okay.
It was okay. Yeah. Just real quick, Dan, new moons were a big deal for you, especially Warlock. They teased the combination of Doug and Warlock in some annual and then took it. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't a big deal to me, like I was saying. So I didn't really have any kind of emotional connection to any of it. So I was fortunate in that context. And I wasn't disappointed when it didn't pan out to be what it should have been. I had plenty of other disappointments in life, but not that one. Oh, Jess, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget, I put up the announcement for our thing here. You know, I do it on Instagram and then it sends it over to Facebook. And Bobby saw the picture that I used of, how I put up the picture of the both of us. And it was a picture of you when you were all done up in your makeup to go to the concert. And Bobby was like, "Oh my God, I love her makeup in this picture." Like,
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, she like straight up saw it and was like calling it out. And I just replied like, "Yeah, she was going to a concert, so she had her shit all done up, like super hot."
Okay, I know, and I'll be honest. When I saw you last week, I was even with my husband on the way here. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do some fun makeup. I'm gonna do all this stuff." I didn't even remember to put on mascara. That's how crazy our morning was, and I was like, "Dude, I'm lame." So yes, I do have fun makeup sometimes. I do look presentable.
But Bobby thought you looked fantastic.
Well, that's awesome coming from her too, because I always thought she was super gorgeous. So
Jessica Satterwhite, I'm just drawn, just a character of mine, just trying to figure out the proportions of it and everything. And Jessica, my friend, what are you working on?
I am okay. So a while ago on our like group, since I never do anything anymore on it, we're not doing, maybe like since it's Halloween, we do like a, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and I decided. I mean, everybody was kind of like, sure. I'm not everybody, but some people. Anyway, maybe do like somebody that scared you when you were a child, but not now.
Yeah.
And so I am drawing the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Oh my god.
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, he was the worst thing you can imagine if you were a child. She has
Uh,
greasy, long black hair and catching children using candy, and he's just terrible.
yeah. Dan, he asked if the convention went well. You, Jessica giggled. Being for real, it actually did not. I mean, it was a fine experience. Like it was kind of the normal thing. It was the convention. It was what it was. There was lots of cool stuff. There was lots of cool merchandise to look at. There was a couple of artists that I got to, some I interacted with, some I just saw from afar. The problem was that it was kind of a bust for me. I barely broke even, and I didn't even make half. I barely made about half as much as I made last year, and so the investment in it is always a tough thing to like you want to at least make your table fee back, and you want to walk out with some money in your pocket, hopefully.
Hmm.
And it's one of those things where it kind of deflates the fun of it if you're sitting there struggling to make money and you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? How could I be doing this better? um and for the first time since I've been doing them, I haven't decided by any means, but the actual thought has occurred to me, like, I don't know if I'm going to go next year, honestly.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but I don't have to decide that like right away.
Right. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it's just I was like, oh God. But I think there was a lot of, I don't know. My brother wasn't making money. Um, I mean, we were making a little bit, but not enough to like justify the thing, the cost. So I don't
It's
know.
it's really gone up, I feel like. And I get that, oh, that's like how everything is, but
Yeah,
like even like parking, I was like, what the
yeah. Everything's just expensive, and that's how it is everywhere in the country. It's inflation, it's price hikes, it's everything. It sucks, but I don't know. I feel like unless it was just me, unless I just suck. Um, but people were a little bit less willing to part with their money unless it's something they absolutely were in love with. Like people are still willing to part with their money, but they have to be like super in love with what they find, as opposed to maybe being a little bit more like, I got a little bit of more discretionary income I can throw away.
right.
Um, so
Well, it was interesting because when we were walking around, and we were walking around literally just had shoppers because we weren't even, we didn't have anything to sell. And I was thinking, oh, we brought maybe like a couple $100, like not a ton in the sense of, if you're gonna go run these things, clearly, you're gonna want to fork out. But just in case you found something like you really, really, really liked or whatnot. And
yeah,
I was kind of like, oh, you know what? You never know what you might find. And so we were going to do that. So we're walking around and we noticed that there's not that many. You see like these amazing, amazing artists, like just immaculate art. And I don't know if it's AI or not. I mean, I can't tell anymore. And that's the shitty part.
right.
There was at least one digital artist. He was like sitting there and he was actually showing you what he did, which was, I really liked that. And so we were sitting there, but we were watching and people would come up interested, but it just didn't seem like there was a lot of people buying as much as you would guess. And
Yeah.
I don't even know that the price, like, okay, so one of the things, a large print of his was $100.
Jeez.
And Marcus was like, that's so high. Don't love it that
Yes.
much. And I thought, well, maybe not for him, because he's put the time and the effort into it. Like, I mean, I always do this, maybe it's because I'm an artist and I just want to be like on behalf of the artist. Like it's not just this easy thing. But he was like, yeah, but this is a print. He's like, it's not an original. I could see if it was like, oh, he did this right here. Like I saw
Yeah.
it type thing. He's like, I mean, a lot of Rob's art. He's like, I could see like paying $100 or 150 or 200 for some of those ones that he had up, especially if it was like he did it right there. It's a large print. Like, this is something really cool because I know that he did it. It's not just like a copy of a copy.
Right.
And that's what I said. I said, yeah, I mean, But he was just like, it was just interesting because he's like, it's really hard to want to pay $100 for a print, that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, wasn't that large, and so I don't know. It was interesting to. It did feel like there wasn't as many people actually buying too, because we walked around for a long time. I mean, long time for us, looking at the stuff, and I was like, wow, that's kind of. I don't know. It's kind of interesting that it didn't feel like a lot of people were as doing as good business as you would think.
Yeah. Um, See, I'm just scrolling back here. Dan says it's usually the convention, not the artist. He's saying I've had more luck outside where I live, believe it or not. And he says the stuff I've done locally paid a little, but the stuff I've done elsewhere always paid more. I've had one or two, people that follow me on the channel. They've got connections to conventions outside of Utah. And I've had like two people recently invite, like, you should come to this convention. One guy's like, I can get you into the convention, and getting into it is one thing, but like the cost of like travel and having a
Right.
place to stay and food, I'm like, I do not, I can't afford that shit. You know what I mean? I can drive down the road 30 minutes, and set up and pay $500 for the table that I got here, which was a lot. But to then add all those other expenses on to just come out, like, I ain't nobody. You know what I mean? I can't take that risk. I can't
Right.
financially
Exactly.
afford that.
Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
it was really nice of these guys to offer, and it would be fun, but
Um, Gayton, it would have been, I would say, like maybe 11 by 14, like one of
so
my normal, what I would, one of my normal sheets, I would
yeah,
say.
this paper I'm working on right here is 11 by 14.
Yeah, it wasn't, when I say large print, he had like little tiny cards, and those were like 25, and then they went up from there. That's, it wasn't a poster size. He didn't have anything super large for sale. He did make really cool mouse pads, or they were large enough. I don't know if they were actually mouse pads. I would guess they were mats for card playing, which my
I've seen
family.
those. They're pretty neat.
Oh yeah, we have tons because I have a family of nerds. My husband's a major nerd and plays Magic and stuff. And they're neat, and I thought, "Oh," but they were like $70 for those, which actually I felt like was a better deal than the print, I don't know. It it was interesting. It was just interesting because I don't know if it was the pricing, but I don't know if people just legit, like you said, just didn't have the pocket change to, unless they really loved it right now, to go out
Well,
and buy it, I
I
guess.
always struggle with pricing because I've had people tell me that I always drastically underprice my stuff. Like Dan here, he says, "You were right, Rob." Oh wait, no. He says it's cool to have a range. He says I do the books for 60, graphic novels 40, albums and T-shirts for 20, patches and comics for 10, stickers for 5. I'm always like, I don't know what to charge because, like, I'm like, I'm a nobody, and I don't want to, like, oh,
You're not
you've never
nobody.
heard of me. Here's a comic book for $40. Um, I'm like, I don't want to seem that pretentious, but then I'm like, I've had people say, like, this person over here is selling their comic for 40, 45, whatever.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
gonna say
I
that.
go and look at it, and without trying to sound egotistical, but I'm like, God, I think mine looks better. Mine is way bigger.
I actually was gonna say there were some, guys that were selling what I think was just fan, like yours, fan, not fan fiction, but I'm saying, a fan story
Sure,
of a couple of different ones. I didn't recognize necessarily all of it, but there look like a couple of characters that I have seen from Marvel before,
sure.
and I saw. So I sat there and I looked at it, and I want to say that they were charging $40. And Marcus said, "It's funny." He said that Rob's doesn't even have his out there as like a, "Oh, I'm gonna charge you for it, but like you can, this is how much I'll take as a donation," type thing. He's saying it that way. He's like, these guys are like clearly right here. Like at least a couple of these characters aren't theirs. They've got it out here. They're charging a good $40 for their comic book. And he's like, Are they licensed? Like, how do you, like, can they do that or
Right.
whatever?" He's like, "So it's interesting." He's like, "I bet like Rob could get more for his." I don't know. It
Yeah,
was.
it's and then I'm
And
always
they're
told that
always smaller than yours, always.
yeah, and then what I charge for commissions, I always feel like I'm always underselling myself. So
Every time, yeah.
right. Yeah. Dan says, you are right, Rob. Forgot a lot of times what happens is my costs for travel are covered because I have a lot of air miles and hotel points from touring. Yeah. Yeah. And that makes a difference. Dan, he's like, I've heard of you. I watch you every day and found you organically. If I saw you at a con knowing who you are. Well, I appreciate that, Dan. And I feel like if I keep my channel going the way I am, it just keeps growing. I'm at 5,000. I'm almost at 5,700, I think. I know that that could potentially lead to more recognition and blah blah blah. And so I'm hoping things work out that way. But
Mhm.
and the thing that just for me is like this local convention. I was talking to a couple people. Like it's there's not really any true comic conventions anymore. It's all pop culture stuff, which is fine. But everything, and this is not a like a judgment as I don't like it, but it's like it was like all anime stuff everywhere surrounding me except myself and my brother and one other dude making his own comics. It was all anime. And some of the most beautiful anime prints and art that I've ever seen. But I'm like, and this is what people are into. And I'm over here selling like traditional ish American type superhero adventure comic stuff. And so I was telling my brother, I'm like, you and I are kind of unique. We're the only ones doing this, but there's not a huge audience for it. And
That's
so,
the thing, I will say. I noticed that too. I love anime in the sense that I watch it, haven't read much in the way of mangas or anything like that. But I noticed that everything was anime. Marcus like laughed. He's like, wow, this convention really brings the weaves out of the woodwork, doesn't it? I said, I know. He's like, there's literal hentai all over the all over the place over here. He's like, I don't see that many like comic book style. And I said, it's true. I saw the exact same thing you did. Everything was was anime.
yeah, there was anime. I saw some of the really dirty porn anime stuff, and I'm like, sex sells. I get it, but and I'm like, should I try to do some animes? And I stopped myself. Like, no, absolutely not. I'm a complete poser. I don't know anything about it beyond its existence. I got to be who I am. And there's an audience out there for the stuff I do. Like, some people find me organically, like Dan says, I heard of you. I watch you every day, and you found me organically. And I do
Mhm.
appreciate it. It's just, I just wish that yeah, Dan's like my demographic is more Gen X millennials. And right, I agree, and it's reaching them. But it was just kind of like I'm the only one. Um, we're not the only one, but like there's so few of us doing this regular comic book stuff, and so it's like it both gives us the distinction, but it's also what not a lot of people are into it, at least at that thing. So I
I don't
like I
know.
said, I actually come out of the whole thing a little bit disheartened. I'm like, I don't know you know if I'm going to do it again, at least immediately, but I don't know.
I don't know if you saw this or not. This sync is I don't know if it's sync Trin wouldn't mind offering help with a Kickstarter, $5. Just donate to your channel.
Yeah, I saw. Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to like continue the conversation, but not miss anybody. Disfortunate. He just bought the Mark Silvestri Batman Joker French edition. I am so. Where did you find a copy of that thing? Um, but yeah, Sync Trin. I mean, me and my co-inker helper partner, Mr. Chuck Gibson, we're gonna plan on doing something together, pencils and inks, and the idea is to do a crowdfunder. Um, it's going to be quite. It's going to be a ways away. You know what I mean? We got to figure out what we're going to do and what the project is. I've got a couple ideas, but we gotta, I gotta find something that Chuck wants to be on board with for sure, because it's gonna be an us thing, not a me thing. So we gotta figure that out, and then we gotta produce the thing before and then the more I kind of build my channel, hopefully the more reach I have to have a successful crowdfunder. So I will need help with somebody who knows how to do anything, but it's a little bit ways away.
It's awesome still.
Yeah. Dan says, great watching you guys, both excellent artists. I have to finish mixing this album I'm working on. Much respect to you both. Always keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Daniel Bedrosian.
Yeah.
Jess, have I introduced you to this Daniel Bedrosian? Do you recognize the name?
No, I don't think so.
So, you've heard of George Clinton, the musician, Parliament Funkadelic?
No.
Oh, that's it. All right. Well, we're gonna boot her off the live stream.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm the worst. Oh, you
Well,
know what? We already had this conversation. I do know. I remember now you telling me about him.
yeah, he keyboardist for him for the last 20 years.
I'm sorry. I'm the worst. I do know it.
Yes.
I'm Jon Snow. I know nothing. So you can never take any me not knowing anything personally. I literally have never seen Deadpool. Like that's who I am. If I can tell you who I am in one sentence, that's just the type of person. So never take it seriously.
But yeah, Dan's
Yes,
Dan's
that's
a
awesome.
Dan's a neat guy. He's really friendly and it's this amazing musician. He'll post up him doing piano work and stuff like that, and it's neat stuff to see. So neat guy. So I just want to introduce new friends to old friends. He's a neat guy, and I enjoy interacting with
Yeah,
him.
that's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
musicians are great anyways, just in
yeah,
general. So that's
yeah.
cool. Super nice. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, see, Dan's like, no worries, Jess. There are probably some songs by P Funk you've heard. I'm sure. I'm certain you have.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm all excited. Like, oh my God, you've heard of this guy, right? You're like, no. I'm like, ah,
I know.
it's all right.
That's the worst.
Um, but yeah, Count Chocula, dude, what's up? Disfortune says on a French Craigslist type thing, paid $35 for 7 plus shipping. God damn it. I've looked for that book. If anybody out there is looking and can find a copy of it for a decent price, I will pay if you can like direct me to it or snag it, and then I will pay you. That I want that Batman book so bad. I mean, I've stopped looking because I just assumed it was not available anymore, but
Well, that's your
yeah.
problem. You didn't look.
Yeah,
You
right.
just quit.
Mark says he was sad there was no live stream from the convention. There actually was. There was a couple of short ones. They're on the channel. I would do one on YouTube, and then I jumped over to Instagram. But I know you're not on Instagram. But I did some short ones. I was actually having kind of like a funny and vaguely like I should be having this conversation while live on the stream about some adult stuff, and then I saw somebody reply to that conversation. I was like, I think I should kill this thing.
What were you
I'll tell
talking
you later
about?
privately what I was talking about.
Oh gosh.
Oh fuck it, I don't care. I was talking with Bobby about this option I had one time to have a trifecta with this girlfriend I had, and she was going to
Uh,
offer to bring someone else.
you and your trifecta story.
I only have one, and it didn't happen, and that's the
How
problem.
many people do you gotta tell? I'm just kidding.
Live streamed it with talking with Bobby. I don't know how it come up, but it was like, yeah, this happened, and she offered like, hey, if you ever want to do this, I could totally do. I could hook that up for you. I was like, what? I don't know how to respond to this, and then it never did, and then it's it, and it's over, and it's done. So there's no story beyond.
You
It
blew
never
that.
happened.
You blew that
I did.
hardcore.
I did. 100%.
Just so you know, we've talked about this as well, and I just want to remind you that my opinion on it. That's so funny.
Disfortunate. I mean, do you disfortunate? Do you have Instagram? It's kind of easiest to contact me through there, just through the messaging system, or even Facebook. Um, if that's an option.
Count Chocula, that was my first movie to see in theater as a kid, along with the Apple Dumpling Gang. Are you talking about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? That is, if you are, that is seriously.
Oh, he might be not current on the chat. Um, someone saying says using the term "blew that" in that context. I was actually having that same thought.
Oh my
With my screwed up opportunity.
god.
Because that's the problem. Because it didn't happen. Like, oh well, it was like 2 decades ago, and options are no longer options, so that's fine. It's fine.
Is it
I don't,
fine
I
though?
don't dwell on it at all.
Do you? Because you bring it up a lot.
God damn, you're making me sound like a like a like a sleazeball, which is basically correct.
Oh my gosh. I'm just teasing you, but also yes.
But also that being said, yes, 100%. Count Chocula, if you're watching, I don't know if you're watching live. I think you might be behind a little bit. So whenever you get this message, zip it to the zip the timeline forward and catch up. But
What's he saying?
well, he's asking how much was the table fee at the Comic Con.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Disfortune. I just saw that come down. You can contact me very easily um, from there, and then if there's possibilities, to get my
Contact
hands
him.
on that book, I would very much.
Contact him through his OnlyFans as
Right.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that because I got to start making some cash. I need.
That's how, it wasn't a great hit at old FanX, so he's finally decided he's going
Yeah.
to do.
Start selling my ass if I have to. I mean, I had my sewer problem. I had my furnace and air conditioning problem. I had to put new tires on my car.
Damn. Really
I'm
having a.
having a great couple of months, aren't I?
Yeah, it seems
And
like
so,
it.
and that's why I was really hoping like I'd come out of FanX, the convention, like just a few bucks in my pocket, like extra. No,
Yeah.
because last year I did.
Yeah.
So, well, sometimes it just sucks to be Rob.
Oh gosh. Cry me a river.
It's truth. I speak truth.
Truth, huh? Do you now?
Tyraz. He's like, dude, I had a 3 with my friend and his wife. It was great. See, I should have. I should have done it, but I was like, well, we could wait. We don't have to jump into that. We could see. Let's hold on.
That's why she's like, you know what? This isn't gonna work.
Yeah, we actually need to break up. I throw that out at your face, and you're like,
Like something must be wrong with you.
yeah, he gay or something. Of course, if she thought that, she's like, I could get another guy. There's options,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what you were doing there.
right? That's what I tell myself all the time. And what's funny is her and I remained friends for a long, long time. We're still friends. We just don't. I haven't heard from her in like 2 years. Um, she's like, it's a good thing we never did it. They always end up badly anyway. I'm like, yeah, but I want to have my regret. I need my own regret. I have no real regrets that way. I was just always
No
like, oh my god, this
regrets.
was lucky.
No regrets, huh?
Yeah, and I want some regret. So
I have a lot of regrets in life, so we're not really have anything to do with, threesomes, but you know.
Yeah, sorry, Sync Trin, if I'm saying your name right. Yeah, like I was saying before, with the Instagram's the easiest way to contact me. You could leave a message in any of the comments on my videos on YouTube, but I do have the books. Where's my? Oh yeah, my fan fictions. I'm down to because when I order the books, they come in groups of 25, and so it basically come wrapped up in a big box, and they kind of package them inside the box in like bundles of 3 different bundles, like I don't know, eight or nine copies per bundle. And I'm down to like my last one. Like I've sold 2/3 of my supply of the most current book.
Mhm.
So
I can
it's kind
so
of gone faster than some of the others, and it's probably because it's the final one, and
I've got mine here.
yeah. And you've read how many pages?
I have read zero-ish pages, but to be fair, I just finished a 1,000-page book that I read in a couple weeks. So
I'm
I would
Jessica. I read novels.
I do read novels. I read a lot of fantasy and a lot of smut. But
That's why I love you.
but here is the newest one. I'm going to show it from my perspective. This is kind of smutty too, so I don't want to hear it from you. You write smut too.
It's kind of smutty, but it's like classy smutty.
Look at this chunky motherfucker right here.
I
This
thought
is
you were
a
I thought you were talking about me.
No, look at this though. It is thick
I
in
now I
all
know you're talking about me.
the good ways. This is the back, which arguably I don't know which one I like better, the front or the back. This is super neat.
So for real, the back drawing is like better and it's more colorful and it's more energetic and it's a better drawing all around. Yes, but the feeling of the front cover to fit the story is why I went with it. I struggled. Chuck wanted that one on the cover, and I feel like he was right. But I'm like, it's not the right image for this overall story. So I debated it uh, quite a lot.
Right.
So I definitely agree the back cover is the better drawing for sure. But
It is this is neat though.
I stuck to my guns,
Can I
and
show my favorite page?
please,
Okay, hold on, I gotta find it. Give me a second. I
Byron,
just
how you doing, sir?
do you read threesome stress? Sometimes if it's in the story. Tyrus. Okay. I said this. Okay, okay, here it is. This is my favorite. I hope it's okay for me to show this because it's kind of a.
You're fine.
This is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, good.
I love this
Yeah,
so
Chuck's
much.
inks on that killed it. It looks great. It's an homage to a very famous image of an X-Men where Wolverine is gutting Professor X, ripping his guts out. There's a lot more blood in our version, but it's an intentional, specific like homage to a Jim Lee X-Men page. And so I put in the best effort I could on penciling it for Chuck, and he just nailed it.
It's gorgeous. I know it's like, well, this is a scene of someone being bloody and slashed open. Still, freaking
But
love it.
you're a dark goth babe, so you're into that kind of shit like all of
I am. I am. In fact, there was a speaking of the book I was reading, I was talking to my sister um, about a scene where I was upset because a character wasn't brutally killed who deserved to be, and she was like, "Well, but they didn't want to become the villains, as the good guys or as the heroes." And I said, "Well, I don't really care. It's like I deserve to see that person get their comeuppance, and I wanted bloodshed."
it.
So, yeah, really good book. I will read it. It's next on the list.
I know it's fine. I'm just giving you shit because it's funny.
I know. I, I
And to be
hate
fair, I haven't gotten feedback from anybody yet, so it's not like
no one.
not one person. I'm not saying there has not. No, you know what? I take that back. I'm sorry. My buddy Richard, who does the help produce it, he's in the credits in the page there.
Uh huh.
He read it and he hit me up and he asked me if I had a hard time with the ultimate kind of character arc of a particular character. He's like, "Did you have a hard time doing that character, that thing to that character?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't want, I kind of yes
Mm,
and no. And he's like, I'm just wondering because I saw a lot of you in that character, is what he said to me.
I know who he's talking about.
Yes, I know. And I said, you know what? My friend Jessica said the same thing. It wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying to do that, but you just kind of, if you have a character that kind of you like and has similar kind of, you just start injecting dumb shit like that. And it wasn't intentional, but so it was interesting that he saw it because you and I talked about it
Yeah.
back when I was writing the story and I was talking. But to see someone else unknowingly says, I see a lot of this in that character. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes it. Can you grab that book and flip it open to Gayton's page?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
he's asking, because yeah, someone's saying, dude, it printed out really good. It came out. I think it looks great. I put yours and Mark's facing each other intentionally. Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
Gaten. Oh gosh, my camera's the worst. Sorry. Um, I love it
Yeah,
so
oh
much.
yeah. Like the girl looks hot. Like she looks great.
Yeah. Just okay. And I'm just gonna throw this out here because it's like this me. This is me as a girl. But just the clothing, it doesn't. It looks like it's on her,
Yeah.
not part of her. Does that
It
make
looks
sense?
three-dimensional, right?
Yes. It. I sometimes feel like, and me, like I do this all the time when drawing clothing on somebody, it's sometimes hard not to make it look just like dr- it's part of them. Drapery doesn't really like work right. It doesn't look like it's separate from the body. And I love how you can tell that this is yeah, these are pieces, not just oh that's a piece, but no, there's this piece and then there's her breastplates on top and
Yeah.
there's all these intricate little things that I
I,
love. I
I
love
like the
it.
little dangly thing hanging off her front, like below the little flowery thing, like
Yeah.
on her stomach area, like the little round knuckle. And I was looking at that and all in like super close detail, and then the chain and everything. Like Gayton put everything into that, and I'm like, it
Kicked ass
shows,
in
dude. So
this.
yeah,
Just kicked ass. And I love because I love skeletons. Skeletor here. He's just got the biggest fucking laugh going on right now. I don't know if you can see that or not, but he's just laughing his ass off. You can tell right now at He-Man. I don't know. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I dug it. We had the
There's
best kind of
Marks.
pinups. Marks, I think, like look at the little tiny Shira at the bottom, the little speck of her to give the sense of scale.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, perfect. I wanted a giant.
Yes.
Like, in fact, he made it look better than any image I did in the book at all. Like, he made it look better than what I did, and he helped actually design. I asked them to kind of like give me some ideas. Like, do you guys have some like ideas for what this monster should look like? And him and Mark and Gayton both come up with some ideas, but I kind of like this version. But of course, Mark, he just nails the shit out of like the drama and the size and the monstrous scale.
Yeah, that's badass
And of
looking.
course, he was very humble about it. He's like, I don't know, and I don't know if it's that good.
Of
I'm like,
course.
dude,
I don't know. I don't know if Mark's in here right now.
it was, yeah.
I don't. And here's. Oh, this is your brother's, right?
My brother's on
Oh,
the right, and then Dan Goodwin's on the left there. So that's my
this is.
brother.
I can tell this is
Yeah,
Dan's.
his work stands out like a motherfucker, doesn't it?
It's just like there's no mistaking Dan's work
And
ever.
look at all that detail on like the technology and everything. Like,
Even he even adds this texture to it. I don't know. It's some of it has the texture, some of it doesn't to give it this depth. I love it.
yes,
And then obviously John's is good too. I guess yeah, I don't know if I've ever like sat and looked at his before.
yeah.
I feel
Just real quick, disfortunate. Yes, I'll see. I do these lives with my phone actually right here, so I can't look at my direct messages until I get done. But disfortunate, I will definitely follow up with you. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
and this is the one that Chuck did.
Yeah, that's the
Inked of
first
yours.
thing he ever did for me, and
Her
it still
hair,
ranks amongst the best. And that character, that right there, is who I'm drawing right now. That's not a Masters of the Universe character, but that's the first thing he ever inked for me. And so I put it up on his little credits page.
right? Because this is gonna be your. Yeah, I don't know. It all turned out. Oh, and Courtney's.
Yes, Courtney. We got to meet her. Well, I mean, I've met her, but you got to meet her face to face.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was super cool. And I was about to leave too, so
Yeah, I'm glad you
it
showed
worked
up
out
when she showed up.
really, really well in that sense because I was like, I gotta go. So yeah, I mean the book itself is super neat. I'm excited to dive into it. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of people who I want to get there. I want to know what they think, and you're one of them because I've bounced story ideas off of you several times all
mhm.
along the way, and you've just been kind of part of the creative process. That's why you're in there in the credits page, like you were part of the creation of this thing. So, um,
Well, what can I say?
you're like, I know, right? So,
Understand.
yeah, I want to know what you think when you get a chance to look it
A
over.
100%. I will 100% stoked. I was stoked to get it. I actually it was funny because I we were trying to get find parking. And we were just laughing and he's like, this is ridiculous downtown anymore. It's just crazy. I said, well, we have to at least if worst case scenario, you have to drop me off if we can't find like parking because I have to go get my book.
Right?
And he's like, no, no, that's fair, that's fair.
It's good to see your husband. I mean, I know it's not like we've never met before, but it's been since whenever you guys or he quit Home Depot. I haven't seen him in
Oh yeah,
all
it
that
would have been a
time.
long, 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 long time. I mean, probably hasn't worked there for what, 13 years or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. And it's interesting because that's why I was asking, like, did he look any different? Because I obviously have been around him all the time, and to me, it's like, oh, he just looks like him. But
He looks the same as far as I ever remember. I don't.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool to get to see everybody. I hadn't seen Bobby since I worked with her in
Right.
person.
Yeah.
Obviously, I see her on you know
Social
um
media and stuff.
social media, yeah, but I had not seen her otherwise, so it was neat to see her. She looks just the same to me, you know?
She's looking totally fine.
Yeah, yeah. Still, like, her lashes are still, like, awesome, and
All right. Thanks, Sync Trin. Good to converse with you. I'll catch up with you on the direct messages later. Yeah. What's funny with Bobby is when we got there on day one and we got set up and is before everyone come in. So she's like, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'm like, all right. So I guess while she's out there, so some dude hit on her.
of course.
Like when she was going to the bathroom, she's like, some big black guy hit up with me. He's like, damn, baby, you look fine as shit. I'm like, and
That is so funny.
she kind of, I don't know, she she struggles with feeling as cute as she maybe feels like she used to be. Or I mean, she's not one to like have like an ego about anything, and she doesn't see it.
Right,
But
right.
I mean, I think most girls have a fairly solid kind of grasp of where they fall in the world in a way, and but I think she,
Mm,
some dude,
maybe,
you got
maybe.
you got some idea,
Yeah, maybe some idea, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Especially I
But
feel like as you age and
I
stuff,
mean,
I think you start to really question.
yeah. But I was just like, see, I mean, you weren't interested in responding to it or anything, but like, just some dude was like, damn, girl, you look fine as shit, And she's like, oh my
Mhm.
god. But I'm like, well, I mean, let's take it as a compliment. She's like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, look, ain't no girl gonna walk up to me and be like, damn, dude, what's up, boy? You got what's your number? What's up? That
Oh,
ain't happening to
ah,
me anywhere.
Rob, do you need me to do that for you?
I
'Cause
mean, just
that-
for just lie to me, and I'll just be like, it happened once. It happened. I still got it. I don't know that
Stop
I
it,
ever
right,
had it, but I still got it.
Mister. My girlfriend wanted to have a threesome.
Yeah, right, dude. 20 years ago
That yeah, you because
with
she
the
moved. Then the universe is like, I ain't giving Rob nothing no
Yeah,
more.
never again. He had a chance. He didn't want it. He's stupid. So guess what?
Stupid.
I put a stripper girlfriend in his path. She threw out that option. He was like, "Oh, we could wait."
Yep, that's what it was.
All right.
He says, looks awesome. Can't wait to get him. We'll have fun. Robin, Jess, and everyone. Thanks. Appreciate that. Hey, Brian says, hey, Rob, are you part of the Kate? Did you already answer these? Am I reading things that were already
No, no.
Kate Fam group? It's the spinoff comic community from the cartoonist Kayfabe channel.
I'm I I'm not sure. I mean I'm part of some of them. Um, I'm honestly not for certain. For certain. So I don't know. Maybe
That was a solid answer.
it was. It was a very solid. I don't know. Tyraz, right? We got the dad bods going, and all the girls want that now. Yeah,
Hey, you know
yeah,
what? Never underestimate the power of a dad bob.
yeah. I
Bod.
guess.
Not a bob, but
Maybe.
it's true. It's true.
Well, you know, what's funny is when you messaged me and were like, "Hey, we're still doing the live tonight, right?" And I told you I was at work, but I was distracted. But Tiffany was there. That uh, the girl I went to the um,
Oh
at a
yeah,
movie
yeah,
night with her the other
yeah.
night, and then we went to the air show. She had stopped in, and so I was kind of sitting there talking with her, and we were walking through the store and looking at Halloween and Christmas stuff and just chatting up. So then I get that text from you, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that I have plans a little bit later on."
That's okay. I didn't feel at all, you know.
Forgotten or anything.
Yeah, just, is what it. I guess. I know where I stand.
Yeah, don't forget it.
I won't. Not anytime too soon.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good to see you. I really kind of hoped we could have had a chance to sit and chat for a minute. You know what I mean? But I not when I knew you were bringing your whole family, I knew that wasn't going to happen. But
Whoa, hold on. I'm just kidding. I could have. I mean, honestly, I could have just sat and chatted while everybody else walked around. I know this sounds so, well, things aren't always what you want them to be. It's just hard. I always think, oh, these things will be so fun for the family to go to. And, in my head, it's such a good idea. And then it just, it was a lot. It was just a lot, honestly.
well, when I was married, and me and Heidi did a couple of things with we had when it was just me and her, and then her son who was 3, 4 at the time. We did
Uh-huh.
a couple things once or twice, and we both said we're never doing this again with this kid until he's older. We're not going to do this. We're not. We went to a movie with them, and we got out of it. We're like, we are never going to another movie unless he has a babysitter or because he just threw a little fit and just ruined the entire thing. So I get it. it's it's like you want to take everybody, but then everyone's not having the same amount of fun, or little babies are blowing their little shitty asses out.
Oh my gosh, that is so actually did happen. Got
Yeah,
in the car on the way home. She had a blowout. I was like, oh gosh, this
did
is
you have
my
to
life now.
did you have to pull over and
We were close enough to home. I just
okay,
waited.
yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, if we had been there, that would have really sucked if we had been there because because I'm not that stupid. I did have a change of clothes for her, but it would have been an ordeal. But it's true. My older kids, it's one thing, but I thought even my oldest son, like he was so sick. He had a terrible headache. He thought he was gonna throw up. I'm like, what is going on here? Like
yeah.
that's so it just, want to have fun, want to do these things. I try really hard to make sure everybody's included. And I did when I saw that, oh, I didn't know like 10 and under are free. And so it was cool. I thought, oh, that's great. Let's see if one does a family thing. And it's
Yeah.
my husband was like, I don't, he didn't really have a lot of desire to go. He and I are both the same in the sense of we don't really like crowds at all. And I feel like as time has gone on, I have really gotten worse and worse about it. I just hate being around a ton of people.
Yeah.
So it was that also didn't
Yeah.
help. But yeah, it would have been fun, you know. If you go next year, maybe I would just get myself a ticket, just come, knowing what I know now. I also swear that this year felt like it was all vendors. I don't know. At least maybe when I went, it just felt like there was not as many of the, oh, you know, we're I don't know, all as much of the fun stuff. The panels, we couldn't even get into the one that we wanted to. I mean, we were gonna wait and wait in line.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah. And I don't get to see any of that stuff because I'm always stuck at my table. But I did get to go walk around. Like Bobby basically forced me away from my table. She's like, "Go walk around for once before the show's over." And I saw a lot of neat stuff out there, a lot of cool gadgets and
Yeah,
knickknacky things. If I had a lot of money to spend, and if I was making any money at the show, maybe I would have, but
yeah,
I didn't. So I get it. It's yeah, it's you got to kind of be prepared for the whole like. This is a lot of people. This is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of insanity.
yeah. I think I was
But
just not, and maybe that was too because I had my kids with me. I was stressed about, somebody getting lost in the fray.
yeah, it was nice to meet your boys too. Your older
Yeah.
boys. They looked like they weren't. I don't know. I was like, are they like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, we know who he is, but damn.
No, no, like they thought it was cool,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's nice to meet them.
Again, my oldest is fairly social, but of course he wasn't feeling very good.
Yeah.
Um, and then uh Lucas is not as social, so you know. But my daughter was
Your little girl liked me.
she actually did. I was a little
She
bit
smiled and she let me like I touched her and she didn't like recoil and then she reached out and held my hand. Did you see that where I held my finger out and she grabbed my finger?
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and I part of me was like, and I know I could have, but I was like, part of me was like, can I hold your baby?
Oh yeah, you totally could have.
But I just, I wouldn't want her like if it set her off crying, and then now you got to calm her back down. And but I'm like, I
No,
haven't got to
she
hold a
probably
baby
would have
since.
let you because she was definitely more responsive and smile than she is normally to somebody she's just met.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I get why people have babies. Like, I haven't
Yeah.
held one since like in the last 8 years when my youngest was a
Your brothers
kid.
had a baby.
Oh yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting, but it's been like a year and a half since I got to hold him as a little baby because now he's 2.
Oh
But
yeah. That's
yeah, John's little guy is so adorable.
what pictures I've seen he really
Oh, such a sweet little guy. He's at that perfect little 2-year-old innocent age where everything daddy does is awesome, everything is magical, everything is wonderful. Like on the second day, we went back to my brother's house because that's where my car was, and there was a drone show in the sky that we could see. So my brother runs inside, and gets his baby from his wife, and he's just so fascinated by these drones flying. He's like, "Look,
Aw.
color, he's blue." It was like
Aw, that's
fucking
super cute.
sweet, so adorable.
Yeah, that's cute. Kids can be fun. See, they can be fun.
Mm,
Yeah, that's cute. I actually almost didn't even recognize John. I recognized his art, so I knew that was
yeah. Oh.
sitting there. I was like, I don't know if you know me or if you know who I am. He's like, I know who you are. I was like, okay. It's been a
Yeah, it
long
was
time.
funny that you were down there talking to my brother first.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know. I didn't even see your booth. I was like, where's Rob at? He's just here. Ah,
Like right there. That's funny. But yeah, Count Chocula, if you're listening, I don't know if you're live on the stream. I think you're behind, but I'm going to be working on a cover for him for his book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's putting together a book. He's got an artist working on it. He's got pages done, and he asked if I could do like a variant cover for him. Like, yeah, absolutely, dude. So
Oh, that's awesome.
I gotta get doing some design work and preliminary stuff.
Well, that should be neat.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
What's
to
his or can you say what his books?
it. I mean, it's called Primal Scream. I think it was
Okay.
kind of a like a when I'm trying to like not like give away. I don't really know much about it beyond the character designs. They're like kind of like these awesome like animal type character, like animal superhero type things, and
Okay.
yeah,
Mm,
gonna
pretty
be
cool sounding.
like. He was saying he was doing a live stream on his own, and he was like, you know, it's like I'm just gonna do this thing. I want to do it, so I can at least say I tried it at least once. I made a book, I wrote a thing, had an artist do it. I'm like, I 100% get it, dude. That's why I do what I do.
Yep.
Make the thing. I talk about that all the time. Like, make the damn thing. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard me ramble on like a
Yeah.
broken record. Like, yeah, yeah,
Hurry
for
until I
real.
was blue in the face. I'm just kidding.
He's still going on about make your thing. But and for real, I've had several people mention that they're like, seeing the stuff that I do and the stuff and just even getting into comics and stuff and reigniting people's interest in them has got people into getting creative again. And every time I hear anybody say that, I feel really humbled. So, that I had some hand in a person getting their creativity going again. And so that's always awesome. It's nice to hear that you've helped somebody like get back doing something passionate and creative that they haven't done in a while or they've always
Right.
thought about doing.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it
100%.
it helps to have like where you could see like, and I'm not just talking about it, like I'm actually doing a thing myself. I'm not just talking the game. I'm like, I'm
Right.
doing a thing. So
Yep. You did the thing. You really just did it.
yeah.
You didn't, oh, you didn't just talk about it. You really put in the time and the effort. Like I said, that book is massive. And you're right. Like a lot of, not putting anybody down, but when you look at a lot of other um, comic books, like independent, like they're not the size of the one you just put out. Like you put in a lot of effort.
Yeah. And I wanted it to look like there was a lot of effort put in. And then, like I said, I want people to feel like they get their money's worth. Like, you're not just getting a 22 page or a 24 or 48 page comic book and I'll see you next year. Like, you got a 166-page book,
Hmm.
and then there's pinups in the back and there's, conversations about what it was and what it means to me. Like, there's more than just like, here's the story done, it's over.
Right.
So I want it to be worthwhile to people. I know I say that, but it means a lot to me. So I hope that makes a difference.
I think so.
Uh,
Inkin, looking good.
yeah. I'm close to coming up with the final designs of the characters. Like, I've had them in my head for a long time, and it's one of those. It's a case of like when it's just in your head, you kind of like a vague idea, but you can kind of convince yourself that I've got all the details worked out. Now sit down and actually do the thing, and you realize how many gaps there actually are. You know,
Oh,
you're like, oh, I better actually figure this out before I get too far. And it's given me the opportunity to kind of just fiddle around with stuff before I move on to another definitive project. I'm still working out ideas and um can kind of work out all the details before I get to the point where I'm actually going to do this thing.
Right.
So
Cool to see what you end up coming up with. I actually think that would, for me, that's super exciting to have you making a story. Not that this other one wasn't your own story, obviously it was, but that's like so much, not at all, I guess, reliant on any other storytelling, you know?
no, I get you. I get you. Yeah.
This is going to be super neat to.
Yeah, this is mine and I can do it. I mean, I was doing anything I wanted to with the other one, but I can do it without worrying about like, you know, it's someone else's property and I can never own it. Like, nope, this is my thing. I can go where I want. I can do what I want and I can
Right.
sell it as my thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super neat. Very exciting. I'm a pretty stoked to get to see what you do with that.
Like I was sitting around trying to work up a tagline. Just real quick. Ethan says, been digging the channel. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in and but yeah, I've been working on like here's an image of the characters, and then here's like a really quick blurb to explain this is who and what these characters are, you know. And so I
Mhm.
was sitting around last night working out. I was writing it out and kind of editing around it. And it's my idea is to put these words on. Like I'm going to scan this image. You've seen me do this one, right? This one I've shared.
You did that one at
I did
FanX?
it at the FanX, and I actually really like. It's not perfect, but it. This was again me working out the designs of the characters, but heavily shadowed to kind of hide them. But
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, but I was coming up with the tagline, like if this is like a trailer for a movie or something like that. So let me run it by you, and you tell me.
I hate it.
Right? See, you don't even need to read it, Rob. It sucks. But you know the basic premise of how the Masters End story ends and what the future kind of idea was, right? Like an alternate version of those characters in another universe kind of thing.
Right.
So the tagline to this says, lost in time, their memories fractured, four reformed criminals arrive on an alien planet in a remote sector of space. Now far from their home, stuck on a violent and deadly new world, they must find a way to survive a broken society engulfed in war, a population on the brink of starvation, and an overwhelming evil threatening to destroy them all, and perhaps become heroes of legend.
I mean, I like it. I like it.
Kind of just trying to give like the basic premise, like they're lost in time and on an alien planet, it's not their home.
Yeah.
And it says four reformed criminals. So the idea is like they used to be the bad guys,
Right.
but now
Yeah.
they're arriving on this planet that's just a dumpster fire of a horrible place, and then they look around and see innocent people kind of suffering, and so now these reformed villains start taking on the evils that are there, and blah 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 bling 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 blah.
No, I like it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think again, I don't know where exactly you're gonna put that or anything. It's when I think of a tagline, I think of something shorter than that. But I feel like in if it's just more of like you said, like a little trailer for someone to read of like, hey, this is the
Yeah.
backstory behind it. You kind
Yes.
of need to have all that information in it, you know. So I personally think it sounds good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's kind of you're right. I was worried about it being too long, but yeah, maybe the term tagline is not the correct way to put it, but like the to describe the premise of it, to sell it, so to
yeah,
speak. Real quick, Ethan says, been digging the channel. He says your inking is great. Those shadows so badass. Well, thank you, Ethan. I appreciate that. You're very kind. And then there is Chuck.
What up, Chuck?
I guess we could stop talking shit on Chuck now.
Oh no.
Just kidding. We were talking about how awesome his inking was.
Yeah, we showed earlier. We were looking at your.
Yeah,
I've got it right here. This.
Jessica shared her favorite page in the book.
Oh
Not
yeah, my
that
favorite.
one.
That one's really good too. But let me find my favorite one
But
because I
she was
haven't
like,
read it.
I'm going to show you what my favorite page in the book is. I had no idea what it would be. And I
Just
would
the
agree. Yeah.
sheer bloodiness of it, but it
Right.
just looks so. Especially when I look at comic book art, I don't know if this is just because I feel like it's telling a story more than just simple art. I don't know because it's a book. You're reading the pictures as much as the words. I love when a drawing or inking looks like it has movement, and I feel like this one looks like you know exactly what happened. There is no question. I feel like you can feel his claw pulling up out of whatever this beast guy's
Right.
is, and just ripping through into the air. Blood's everywhere. I just love it.
I love my violent friend.
I am violent, I guess.
Well, not violent, but the
It's okay.
appreciation of the violence.
It's okay.
I mean,
Literally,
I'm the one drawing it. I'm into that stuff myself. So,
you're like, don't. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. Yeah, I love it. I love that. I just kind of flipped through it on the way. And I had seen that one, but just getting to see it in person. That is one thing I will say about too. You show these books, you show these pages on here, but man, is it super, super neat to actually get to see him in person. It's totally different.
and that's why I'm not a huge fan of reading comics digitally.
Hmm.
I have a better, more visceral connection to the work if I'm holding a physical thing.
Yeah.
And that's just me, but yeah, Chuck says he did that blood effect a couple of times to get the way I wanted. And kind of remember, Chuck, like I think you were showing me a couple different variations on stuff, and they all kind of looked good. I'm like, looks good. And then you're like, how about this? I'm like, that looks good too. I'm like, how about this? God damn, they all look good. So
All of them look good. Can you do
yeah,
them all?
yeah, right. But yeah, I think for me, my favorite page is probably there's a couple pages. One where the Jitsu character with the liquid metal weapon, where he's like practicing with it and it's zipping all around him. But then the last page of story in that book, where it's the group shot of the four of them.
Mm, hold on.
Um,
I'll pull it up here.
yeah,
I just see your little, you know, let's see. This one,
yeah,
the end, it says.
yeah.
No spoilers, but just
Whatever.
take a good look at that, guys.
Right.
Anyway.
I just feel like that one just that in the sea of stuff that him and I have done that worked really well, and I could argue they're just as good. But something about that, just the textures on the metal, the guy's big arm there where your thumb is, and on his face, and just all of it just came together. I'm like, God damn! I'm probably gonna go get a printout of that and hang it on my wall, and I might pay somebody to color it.
Oh, that would be neat to see. Look at her top here. Oh
Yeah,
gosh, my stupid cord's in the way. Look at that.
yeah.
That's just. And if you look at this arm, yeah, the metal is just what makes this. And I don't know if it's just your pencils or combination of your pencils and Chuck or just Chuck's magic, but somehow the metal in your books just really shines through the
Well,
depiction.
when Chuck's inking it, like I just kind of learned, like I'll indicate where I kind of want like the highlight shadows, roughly speaking, but he'll just take it to this whole other level that I don't even really need to like. It's almost like, do you just do your thing? And it just
Yeah.
so I've got the original around here somewhere, but in fact, I even inked the original just to fart around with it. And of course, it doesn't look as good, but um, But yeah, he knows what he's doing with all those metal textures. Yeah, he says it's all clicking there. Yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. I feel the same. It just was working.
Yeah, it looks
So
super good. Super,
if we
super good.
can if we can reproduce that look on a consistent basis, you know, which I think we can and we will. I think that shit will work out really nice.
Yeah, it's legit.
Tyrez says he's the same way, Rob. I can't read or enjoy looking at a phone or a tablet screen when I want to read a comic. I'm the same way, dude. Like, I'll do it if there's no other way. Like, if there's a work somebody wants me to look at, um, I will 100% like, well, all right, yeah, let's bust it out. Let's take a look. But ugh, I'm just old school. I like that tactile kind of.
Same. I have to
Yeah.
have physical books. I have read stuff. I mean, online, like school books and stuff, but I really just enjoy more of the.
Chuck says, in his opinion, that piece would fit right into a Wildstorm studio circa 1995. I mean, I it's hard for me to agree because I can't put myself on anywhere near that level, but it's not me, it's us. But that, I feel like it could, I feel like I wouldn't be, ashamed to show that to anybody and be like,
Well, no.
I did this part and Chuck did this part, and this is what we come up with, and somebody should hire us and pay us a lot of money to draw a comic book, or somebody should buy our crowdfunder whenever we do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get what you're saying, Chuck. It's just hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm even remotely close to any of those badasses doing all that crazy work. But maybe if
Chuck would.
if it's not me on my own, that's the for sure thing. You know what I mean? It's none of this looks like this without Chuck's fine hand.
That is fair.
Any of your family doing any like Halloween like haunted forest things or anything like that this year?
I don't know if we'll do any of the haunted stuff. It would be fun, but again, I feel like it's one of those things where we have to get like a sitter because not all my kids can do the haunted stuff.
Yeah.
And that's
You got kids at the age where you're like, we can't do this shit right now unless there's someone to watch them or something like that.
yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And our last like you heard about the whole concert incident and how I had
Yeah.
to leave early and stuff. And we were just like, you know what? Next time we're just bringing them all
Right.
because it's just I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where it's either we all kind of have to go or it really has to be a big plan at.
Yeah.
Chuck is saying I can't read. Is that a new idea for a new project you're talking about when I came in?
I don't remember what we were talking about exactly when you stepped in. Somebody was asking what this is, and if that might be that. But this was what I was going to do as soon as I was done with my master's and stuff, which is like a altering those characters to be my own and put them off on a different planet and make my own thing. That was kind of like the was gonna do, but I'm gonna discuss with you, sir, when we have to get together to decide what we want to do and do that. I feel like there's momentum and possibilities. So this is just me working out. So this is like a different project, yes, but this is just me working out ideas in between having nothing else specifically to working out costume design ideas and things like that.
Which is also fun.
Yeah. Like I was saying, you have an idea in your head, but once you sit down and you realize, like, all right, I'm going to draw this idea. I've had it in my head forever, but you realize how many gaps in the ideas are there once you have to physically like manifest into something real. Like, I actually never figured out what this part of their outfit would look like. I should probably figure that out.
Yeah.
Count Count Chocula is still responding, but he's talking about stuff we were discussing 15 minutes ago.
Will you get off Count Chocolate's ass, please?
I
My,
want him to be current in the conversation.
you need to just leave him alone for a second. My God. I just
He's part of the conversation, but he's
he is
cutting this.
having his own conversation.
Wow. I feel
No.
like I am
You what?
actually trying to help him out.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Whatever you say. Gosh, I keep hitting this stupid. I mean, not stupid. I just started calling everything stupid, and now I notice that my 3-year-old calls everything stupid when he gets in.
Oh, he's like, mommy said this. Noted.
Yeah, he said something the other day, and he was angry, and he said, "This is stupid," or "That's the stupid thing." I was like, that probably comes from me. I like to call everything stupid.
God, my youngest son, he said something when he was like 4 that he picked up from the neighbors. What did he say? He was
Sure.
like, it wasn't from me because I would love to have known this phrase before he said it. Because then I wanted to adopt it, but I kind of, what the fuck? We even like took a picture of my boy and then made up a thing we could order. We could make a magnet, take the picture, and then I put the text on of the phrase he said, and then gave it to the neighbors, and they laughed so hard.
What was
I
it?
think he said something like he walked into a room and he's like, "You should shut your butthole." I was like, "What the fuck?" It's just the way he said it. So we gave him a mag. They're like, "We're so sorry. One of my kids said it, and your son picked it up. We didn't mean to teach him that." We're actually like, "No, that's actually 100% fine."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but shut your
Which
butthole. I
one
was
said
like,
that?
my oldest boy, but he was like 4 at the time, so it's been
Oh,
forever.
that's so funny.
Chuck says, I think we should do 2 projects. You write one and I write one. All possibilities, Chuck. We just gotta get together and kind of figure out what we want to do and how we want to approach it for sure. I just figured the thing that whatever we'd be doing, I've got what I was going to do on my own previous to hooking up with you. But we should come. We whatever we're going to do next, it should be an hour thing where we both kind of share in creativity and whatever. And so I was going to just put this on the side until the time was right. So yeah, we just got to kind of figure out what we want to do and what would be. I Einstein says at all points in time occurs simultaneously. So Shakila is current in the conversation in that view.
Yes, hell yes. Go on, Chuck. You got him there.
Yeah, wow, you are out to get me. Like, somebody shut Rob up.
No, somebody has to defend Shocula because you keep coming at him. You ain't even in this conversation. That's what you said.
Wow. Shakila says we should start our own label. I assume he's talking about me and Chuck. I mean, if we come up with a new thing that's a new project for us, and I think the idea would be to, get it together and try to do a crowdfunder. It would be an us thing for sure. That's. So I'm definitely um
For it?
what the only problem is that I was listening to another artist, Chuck knows, Jimmy Reyes in his live
Mm,
stream the other
I
day,
know
and
who Jimmy is. Thank you.
he was talking about how it seems like in his view, like there's a lot of crowdfunders out there that are struggling to get successful, and it might be just a thing of economy, you know um So
Yeah,
I've always been
I
worried
would say
about,
that would make sense.
yeah, like the thing with the economy. So if you're going to have a thing, I think people are still willing to part with their money, like I was talking about with the convention earlier, but it just has to be something that they really want.
So make something that people really want. Give them
Right.
give the people what they want.
uh, it's a balance of what do the people want versus what are we actually willing to put a bunch of time and effort into.
Mm-hmm.
No. so
That's also fair.
so Jess, I'm sorry. You told me, and I complete. No, okay, all right. I was like, "What the hell are you drawing?" I know you told me, but I just blocked it out.
I
But
know you told me, but I didn't give a shit when you
I
told
didn't
me.
give a fuck. I tuned out. I just wanted to make you feel like you were part of the conversation. But that time has passed. But no, I do remember. I'm sorry. It was the creepy bad guy from that movie that was really like disturbing and weird. And
It is disturbing, but it has a great lullaby in it. So, you know, had its things. What are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
I don't have any specific plans. I've got the boys here this weekend, so I'm trying to think of something to do with them to entertain their brains. I don't know. I thought about throwing out the option to see if they wanted to go see that new animated Transformer movie, which I have not wanted to see because I'm sick of anything Transformer and it's sucking. But I've heard it's good,
Hmm.
so
I didn't even know there was one out. So if that tells you much.
it just reaffirms that I know Jessica is out of touch.
I am so out of touch, and I'm the first one to say it. So out of touch. That'd be fun. We're gonna do the old first pumpkin patch of the year tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
If you can call it a pumpkin patch, since out here it's just them bringing pumpkins to a field and charging you overpriced amounts.
Right, way overpriced, but it's.
It's what you do for your kiddos.
Yeah. Do it.
Might carve them up.
I have tentative plans maybe next weekend to go to a haunted forest thing with a couple of people, so that might happen.
Wow, look at you. Hey, where was my invite?
I would invite you every time if I thought there was even a microscopic possibility of you showing up. But since I know
Wow,
that
wow.
that
That's how it's gonna
possibility
be, huh?
is
Sometimes
zero,
sometimes it's nice just to be invited to things, Robert.
I know. I actually been making that same complaint to other people about my own extended family. So, you know
There
what,
you
Jess?
go.
You're
Hmm.
you're invited.
Thank you. I can't make it.
I think that's great. I won't be there. I knew it. That was actually like I knew that was what going to happen, but it was actually still perfect.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm the worst.
Pyraz says I should take my kids costume shopping. I took them to the Halloween Spirit store.
Yeah, you guys are always on top of going to old Halloween Spirit.
I want to go see it, and I kind of made it a thing to force my kids to go because they're all like super scared of it. I'm like, we're gonna keep going until you're not scared of this shit because it's not scary. So I forced them to go, and they were scared for a while. Now they kind of don't. They're not scared of it anymore. But I'm like, okay, good, because you shouldn't be scared of any of this stuff. But let's go see. And then I buy them toys. My one boy got this big, like, bloody, like baseball bat with the half chainsaw blade stuck
Damn,
into
that
it.
sounds neat.
cut people up. And then my little boy got this little bone looking dagger. He's like, Daddy, this little dagger, you stab it into bad people and it sucks their souls out. I'm like, all right.
I was gonna
Um,
say that's surprising your kids have been scared of it because your kids seriously have some crazy imaginations.
yeah.
They've created some really crazy monsters because we've drawn some of them.
Yes, we have.
That's cool. I remember you were, yeah, you guys always seem to be there like early on.
Soon as it's open, and I'm like, well, I got a weekend. Let's go, boys. Let's go see some Halloween shit. But it's usually only the one time, because it's way overpriced. And I don't want to like go in there and see some shit I want to buy and not be able to afford it, or
Yeah,
afford it, or buy it anyway.
you found some really neat stuff there. At one time, you found some journals I thought were sick.
Yeah, and they're doing exactly what I knew they would do. They're sitting on top of a shelf, untouched since I got them.
Yeah,
Just
wow.
sitting up there. And I'm like, I should do something with them, but what am I going to put in them? Should I start journaling, start talking about my thoughts and my feelings?
Are they? I'm assuming they're lined pages.
Yeah, they're not actually like sketchbooks or anything like that. You could still sketch in them, but it's lined
I was
paper.
gonna say, you know what you could do though? You could get a sketchbook, take out the pages, and paste them in there after you do a sketch, like a little scrapbook for your kids. And then when you fill one, then you've got the one filled and then fill the next one. And cool things that they can have like in a book.
That sounds like a lot of extra work.
You know what? Do you love them or don't you?
I do love them, but there's a limit on some things.
Wow, Robert.
I'll just draw them a thing and just give it to them. I'm going to leave them so much shit when I finally up and die.
That's true. You have a lot of shit.
Creative art and stuff they're going to look back and go, what the hell was this? What? I wonder what Daddy was doing when he blah blah this and blah blah that.
That sounds exactly what they'll say.
Yeah, that's right. But they'll be like, God damn it, Daddy was into some stupid shit. We're so glad that we don't have to like listen to his nonsense anymore.
Oh, they'll never say that. Don't you dare.
Uh,
Your children are the sweetest kids.
they are beautiful, sweet little boys. See the picture of him in the back of the book?
I did. You want me to show it or no?
Yes. I mean, I don't care.
Yes. Okay. this it. Where is it at? Oh, it's. I see. I
In
see.
the credits page, right next to you and
There's
Danielle.
a lot of pages in this book,
I
Robert.
know, 166.
Okay. Wow. Okay, we have Rob and me. Look at me. I'm
Right?
wearing my Hellfire Club shirt. Heck yes.
Hell yeah.
Danielle's rippling muscles.
Hell yeah.
And that one's Richard, right?
Yes, that's Richard.
And then there they are,
There's my sweet boys.
Leo and Andrew.
Yes.
Is this a pretty current picture?
It's like I took it like a week before I put the book together.
Leo's getting so big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's taller than you, but I mean, let's come on.
That's not hard to do.
No, it is not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And one kid's name in the book was Andrew, and then another kid's name in the book will be partially Leo. So I'm throwing my boys in there.
That's really cool.
And one of these days, when they're older, hopefully they'll be like, "Oh, Daddy did love us a lot. He said it, and I guess it was true, but he put us in his art."
See, that's a cool thing. I've never done anything like that for my kids. But I should.
Be like, "Who's this chick Jessica you kept putting in the back of these books? What the fuck is that?"
Oh, your kids know who I am.
My Andrew straight up gave you a hug the first time he met you.
I know. Like, don't even with me.
Dud. I don't know. I've never had the balls like this is the first time I'm meeting somebody. Here, let me put my arms around you. It's
No,
different when you're a child. You can get
that
away
was
with it a lot easier.
maybe that's what it is, but it was cute.
Yeah. I was like, oh, well, look at him. Because I did not tell him to do that.
Yeah, that was super cute.
Yeah.
Thanks, Count. He says, looks awesome, Jessica. And look at me, I'm not gonna say anything about whether or not he's caught up on it or not.
Yeah, and he shouted out your artwork specifically, so it's cool. It's fine.
Well, everybody knows your stuff looks great. I actually do good stuff every I would say about every third live we do. I get oh, you know what? This wasn't as horrible as I thought it was gonna be. To be fair.
Oh, just put a big old fingerprint smudge right in my middle of my fucking page.
Damn it. What are you doing over there?
Apparently,
That's embarrassing. You're supposed to
putting
be
my
professional.
finger in wet ink and smudging it everywhere.
Clearly.
I am a dingle dork over here.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even. Yeah, I know, Rob. We know.
Been around.
I was kind of hoping Courtney would get to jump in here because I was all up in her business. Like, when are you going to get a booth here? Because I think your stuff would really do well.
Oh yeah, 100%. I
Right?
would think. I would think.
No.
Of
I
course, I
get
would
it.
think that yours would do better than it seemed like it did. So I guess who am I to know? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't want to push on her too hard. Maybe it's like she likes to draw, but maybe the whole being stuck for 3 days and having to
I think she
sell
has
to
fun going
people.
around from what she said. She
You what?
seems. I think she has fun going around and
Oh
looking at
yeah,
things
yeah.
too. From what she's said in the past, which is awesome. Oh my gosh, can you hear that?
What is it?
Somebody's running back and forth. I think it's my 3-year-old.
Oh, I heard something like thumping, and I was thought it was just you doing your artwork on your board there or something like that.
No, they're running above me.
That's
But have you noticed we haven't had any freezing?
Oh yeah, the stream has been going really well. Yeah, what'd you do different?
I moved to a part of the basement that's right underneath the router.
Oh, all right.
I did that actually today. I just you know what? I'm not messing around with this anymore because
So it seems to have solved the problem. So you think it was just a matter of signal not getting through?
I don't know. To be honest with you, who knows? I don't understand technology at all, and I hate it 9 times out of 10. I just, whatever. Anyway, so I was just done with it. I was like, you know what? I think this is probably going to be the best case scenario, and it's fine. I'm just going to take up this little area over here and hopefully not have to worry about it again. So that's what I did.
Shakula's asking, what did Courtney draw for the Master's End book? Do you still have that right close? I don't have any copies in my room, so I can go get up and get my own. But
You know what? Don't work yourself up. I got it.
promise, I never do.
Okay. No one's asking what I drew. I drew this. This is me. I drew this bad boy right here. This was my beautiful, sketch that I drew, and then Rob inked it.
I was gonna say, you're gonna tell him that I inked it, right? You're gonna give proper credit to me.
Yeah, but here's Courtney's. Yes, I told them. I think. Oh my gosh, it said on there that you had. Here's Courtney's, which super cool.
Yes.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Just such a good job with. She does a good job with hands, which that's just I'm so jelly of that. But yeah, it looks so. She just did these little tiny. Looks like up close looks kind of effortless. Just these little placements of these highlights here, but it makes her suit look super, latexy. I love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome. That's Courtney's. This is Blab Bobs too. We don't think we showed that one, but
Yeah, I don't know what his real name is, but he does work. He shows his work on the Discord channel. I've said I would buy a book based on just his artwork alone, and I
Mhm.
like this He-Man one he did, but it's not even the best stuff. Like all those pages he shows on Discord, like I would buy the book based on the art alone, dude. Like I was just into
Yeah.
it.
It's just badass the way he does it. Like, looking up close, like, this line work, it's like,
Yeah,
how did he even think, "Oh, I'll throw these lines here and it'll come together." I don't know
and
how.
you can see there's a lot of little back and forth squigglies, like you just
Yeah,
almost like sketching. Like the pen doesn't leave the page; it's just up,
yeah.
down, up, down, up, down, up, down, a little squiggly back and forths. But he puts it all together, and it's got like
And this is traditional, right?
I'm not 100% sure. I think he's digital.
Oh, it looks traditional, like, you look in, like, the close-ups here, it's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
like, that wasn't fully
I
filled."
think he
It
is
looks more
digital,
rough.
and and
I
that's the
like
great
that.
part when you can't tell.
Yeah, I love that.
Like I love his legs and his feet, like those furry boots and the muscles and
Yes, I love the feet, like,
yeah,
this was
the
oh, I love
shadows on the leg in the background and how the other one comes forward. Like he just kicked ass and he banged it out fast. I hit him up like, dude, you got to do a pinup in my book, bro. He's like, all right, yeah. He's very
the
happy to. And
moon is
like,
super neat. You know how I
uh,
am about moons.
you got a tattoo of one on your arm.
Yeah, it doesn't look that good. That is badass.
Yeah,
What we got here? Oh,
that's my
man.
buddy. That's the guy who did that Fisto one in that other book that you really like.
Yeah,
The same
this
artist.
one, the detail on this
Yeah,
is just wow.
yeah. His name's Jeff. He did a really cool. And Chuck returned. He's back from wherever he had to go.
Okay, I'm back now.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, and
And
then
then this is Rob after Rob.
yeah,
You
I
did
talk
you
all that shit, and then I
you
do
did
some
yourself.
homages of his work. So
You did yourself.
yeah, I would if I could do that, I'd be online.
And then these are the
Yeah,
non-colored versions of
yeah.
these.
I see the black. I like it. Looks so good in black and white too. I'm like, I gotta throw that in there. So it just makes the inks shine.
Mm.
The coloring kind of hides stuff. It brings other stuff to the fore, but it also hides some stuff. So I love to see the black and white, and you can see all those textures and the metals and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sick. And then this is you too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, just trying to work out her outfit design, which is very basic, but sometimes that's the best way to go. And I like the inside back cover because it's a glossier paper. And so that image, because even Chuck said, that image would look better in black and white anyway, because that was going to be on the back cover in color.
Hmm. I like it.
Then me and Chuck did that other page, and it's like, well, I guess I should just put this on the inside. He's like, it would look better in black and white anyway. And that because it's on that glossier paper, I just feel like it really stands out. Like
Really
I really
shine.
like the way it looked. So he was correct.
Is this you and
Just me.
oh, I see what it is. You've done they're like after
Yeah. It's
famous
an
artists. I see.
homage to another famous cover. Well, sort of famous from another
Okay. Did
artist.
Danielle pose for this one?
No,
Oh my gosh,
no.
this face kind of reminds me of Danielle's.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I didn't make her stand in this weird, like, here, flex and stick your leg out. And
Well, she
she
would
would have done it, but
say. I mean, you've had her pose in other things, so I wasn't sure. Well. Mhm. That's pretty.
la di da.
Mhm.
Can't believe I got this giant inky fingerprint on this page.
Well,
Chaps my.
that's also karma for saying no to the threesome. Everything now, when something happens to you, I'm saying that.
You had an opportunity 2 decades ago, Rob, and like a dummy. Oh yeah, and Chuck was just mentioning here. He asked me like, where did I get this book printed at? And he was saying that he's always wanted to, um, to all the screen tones and like all those digital kind of, the gray tone kind of effects that he puts on all the, most of the pages in there.
Uh-huh.
Um, you never know how a thing's going to look until it's actually you got it physically in print. Like this is what it looks like on the screen, but
Yeah.
and he was saying, and I agree, like he was really happy with the way that his work was reproduced in the book. And I was like, dude,
Yeah.
those pages stand out. In fact, one guy hit me up. He's like, man, those pages at Chuck Ink really stand out. I'm like, I know, right? so
Yeah.
so it all worked out. There's Dan Goodwin.
What up, Dan? We were just showing your work earlier.
Yeah. But that time has passed.
Okay. I mean, I can pull back out again. You've had me pull it out for lesser things. So.
For lesser people.
Mm, like yourself.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, I'm not kidding.
I'm just teasing you, Rob. You know what? I'm not gonna make any more Rob jokes.
That you don't have to lie.
I know.
But I know it's like if you ever like just completely super nice to me, I'd be like, something's wrong.
Okay, okay. You make me sound like I'm a bitch.
You make me sound like a bit. You're not.
All the time.
But yeah, Dan, we were just kind of. She's got the book right there, so she was kind of flipping through it, and we stopped and marveled at a couple of the pinups in the back, and we definitely stopped on yours. Dan, did you? I can't remember everyone I've sent a book to. Dan, did you get one? Did I send you one? Do you need? Do I?
There it is.
Yeah, she's like,
And you know Dan Goodwin's work when you see it. Like you don't have to ask, I wonder who did this one. No, you've a super unique art style, and I love it.
yeah.
So, I might actually jump off here pretty soon.
Okay.
Gotta cut kids' hair tonight.
You're gonna cut children's hair.
Uh huh. Yeah, I cut my own kids' hair.
My mommy used to do that to us when we were way younger, because probably a thing of we're just too damn poor to do otherwise at the time.
It's expensive. And
Hey,
sorry, go on.
no, I was just you're right. It's just expensive and take multiple kids and everything, and yeah.
It's just a lot. So I think, but I learned how to do it a while ago, and yeah, it just works out. I can cut their hair for them, and they don't have to look like ragamuffins.
Are you kids homeless? Are you okay? Like, no, we just our mom doesn't take us to get a haircut.
Okay, but then they go to school. I bought them.
Yes.
They're big into skateboarding, especially my oldest, and I bought them pants that were like 2 sizes too big, so they look like they're baggy, all the style. The like old 90s grunge style is back, which is bonkers to me, but that's what they like. My oldest son wears shirts that are too big for him, whatever. I bought them all this stuff for back to school. My youngest, or not my youngest, but my 9-year-old, will come down in skinny jeans, ripped skinny jeans, high water pants that he has not, that are like a size 6 or 7 or something that haven't really fit him in over a year anyway. And that's what he'll wear to school. I'm like, it looks like I don't buy you new clothes every year. That's what it looks like. I don't know.
People are gonna think your mom doesn't give a shit.
That's what I'm saying. Chuck says my mom went to beauty school. She cut my hair until I moved out, and a few times after that.
Well,
That's
hell
not,
yeah! In that case, like, I'm
yeah,
showing up, mom. I know you know what I like. You know how to do it,
that's not
and all I
right.
need to pay for with is like a hug.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this.
Yep. Sounds good to me. I'm all about that. I don't ever dye my hair anymore. I'm just so overpaying for hair stuff. And I never cut my hair, to be fair, but
You never ever did that at any time. You never gave it a like. I'll just do my own.
what, cut my own hair?
Yeah,
No. I've never cut my own. I've trimmed it.
yeah, that's different.
Okay, I'm getting messages in my siblings group chat, not my siblings, but my husband's siblings. And my sister, I don't know who she's talking to, just sent a message that popped up on my screen. It says, "Your ass is always swampy." I don't even know what's happening in that chat.
You're like, I'm gonna hit them up and be like, what in the hell are you people talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on right now?
Funny.
What is happening? That piece go right ahead.
But yeah, like I was saying, I've moved more copies of this final book quicker than I think I have any other one.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad for. I sold several, like well, several. I mean, I took 8 copies to the convention, and I only come back with one. And I've never moved that many in a convention before in one
All
shot.
right. Well, I mean that's good then. Like that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's solid.
one went to you, of course,
Of course, of course.
naturally.
Naturally. I mean that's actually pretty. I would see that as a.
I mean, I had 4 different guys walk up and were like, "I've been looking for the next issue. I was looking for your booth specifically. You got the next issue. I can't wait to read this." And then I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." And then I tell them it's like the final one, and they're like, "No, are you kidding? Where am I going to get my '80s fix?" I'm like, I mean, they're like, "Why are you done?" I'm like, "Because the story's told." Like, it's
Well, maybe they'd be done for a new one then.
yeah. And I do have like
Pretty
a
sick.
little short wrap up thing I kind of want to do as
I
like
do.
a little side gig thing, but like just a small like 20-page book. But yeah, I'm like, it's story's over. It's wrapped up. There's no more. I could keep going. Like I could keep coming up with shit. I've had ideas. But I'm like, no, this is the end. This is where it was always meant to go, and I gave it my cinematic ending that I was kind of looking for. So,
Yeah,
like it says in the book, the future awaits. Something else.
that's cool. I wouldn't know because I haven't read it yet, but it's pretty neat.
Chuck says, "Oh no, she didn't cut my hair the way I liked it. She cut my hair the way she liked it."
Oh my
This
gosh.
wasn't long after moving away that I started growing my hair long down to my ass a couple times. And then Dan Goodwin says, "We need a couple long hair Chuck pics." And he's like, "Got no photos. I hid from photos back then. Cameras steal your soul."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude, I'm always a proponent of the long hair. I don't know.
Shocula says, "I tried to grow my hair heavy metal long freshman year of high school. Pops wasn't have that."
Always parents cramping your style.
Right? But we don't
I
have
actually let my kids grow their hair long if they want to. If they take care of it. If they don't take care of it, then like my one kid had a ponytail. Lucas
yeah.
had a long hair. He put up a man bun. I'd braid it for him back. Kids made fun of him at school though.
Oh.
Yeah, they made fun of him for it, which I think is ultimately why we cut it. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah, no, I'm a big proponent of long hair on men. So
it's funny because my roommate hates long hair on him, and she can't stand it. It's like you could put the most handsome man on the planet. He's got long hair. She ain't interested. It's like, nope, nope, cut the hair. I'm like, really? You
Really?
say he's the most perfect human being, the most perfect man, and he's totally in it, but he's got long hair. And she's like, I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I'm like, oh my God, you are really like, you are really into this. Like, do not like the long hair
That's interesting. That is not me.
thing.
I just feel like that's how God intended it. You know what I mean? Why does our hair grow? It's not supposed to be long. That's all I'm going to say. That's my last little pitch for that. Oh, man.
Dan says my hair was once luscious, now it's old and brittle, right?
That's my hair. My hair used to be thick and beautiful and chocolatey brown. And now it's chocolatey brown. It's not thick. It's brittle and it's really gray in areas.
Oh, well, no one sees that but you. All I see is his long, awesome hair, and
Well, thanks. But I do. Yeah, it's definitely not what it used to be. That's okay. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna jump off here, go see what the famine's doing.
yeah,
But it's been fun.
yeah. I miss doing these. This was a fun conversation.
Yeah, we'll I mean if you're up for it, we can go again next week. Maybe we could do I don't know how you are with your plans. I feel like the Fridays actually work usually better for me now. So if you have open Fridays, we could do those for sure. I'm starting to get things on Thursdays though that are more.
Okay. Yeah. No, no.
Yeah.
That's yeah. It's probably just fine.
I know you have a lot of dates, but when you can pencil me
I
in.
I might have the haunted forest thing with some friends on next Friday, but that's still up in the air until some other people kind of decide what they're doing. So,
All right.
but
Yeah.
maybe,
Maybe I'll see you there. You never know.
right?
Maybe I'll end up, tagging along.
Yeah, we already established you're like you should invite me. It'd be nice to be invited. So I invite you. Like, thanks, I can't make it.
It is nice to be invited, even if
I
you
know,
can't make it.
I know.
Oh boy. All right. Well, thanks everyone. It was fun getting to chat again. Been a hot minute. But yeah, we'll see how next week works out then.
Yes, yes, we will.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah. I'll hang out for another minute.
Oh yeah, here's my child catcher and my pencils here. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm digging that.
Doing some colored pencils here. Give it a
Oh,
shot.
nice.
All
Those eyes,
right. Oh wow. Look at
those
what.
eyes look good.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Bye,
Yeah,
Jess. Bye, Dan. Bye.
Dan, you say I should do a Sundays in Space short story. It's a possibility at some point. I might need to go in a few minutes and see what my little monster kids are doing in the other room. See if I need to feed them food or something. Oh, I know, Dan. It's just a matter of we'll chat. How about that? If you come up with a story that's a short story, possibly for sure. The challenge of drawing your characters in my style would be astronomical and interesting. Because I can't draw cartoony, and that's not the point. So I'd have to like, how do I take these characters and translate them into the way I draw, and what would that look like? I might rob them of anything remotely interesting, but it might be fun. Trying to decide if I should just blacken in her cape totally, or just like leaving part of it peeking out in the light. Chuck, inside secret. It's all cartooning. I know. But when I think of the term cartooning, I think of animated type stuff and like drawing like the Charlie Brown type characters, or somebody does like animated type stuff. Yeah, it took you about 25 to figure that out, but yeah, it's all like, and I do get it. You know, I'm like, I draw superhero ish shit. Dan, just think if they were master, and that's kind of what I was approaching it like, in a way. You know what I mean? Like these kind of cool, crazy designs. Count, you draw skin tight armor, so cool. Well, I've always liked drawing armor type stuff, but honestly, seeing the way that Chuck inks metal has informed how I start doing it. It's a little bit different now. I'm trying to steal from Chuck, honestly. And I like what I do better now than I was doing before. It still doesn't look as good as when he does it, but you know, we're all learning here. Um, and again, I'm just trying to work out the design elements of this armor, like these little, I can't really see it, but these like rib plate things, these side plate things. Looking for a better. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, in fact, I forgot, Chuck. Yeah, you asked me to send this to you. I got to scan this thing, but this is the same girl, the same design. But like, I kind of like these little side plate design things on her ribs with the little points, and I come up with those like 25 years ago for an entirely different character. And I'm like, I could put them on her in this metal outfit that she's wearing. But yeah, I really like a shiny metallic look. I want it to really pop, and Chuck has shown me the way. I shall never attain Chuck level, but I reach for Chuck level. George Perez once commented that Jerry Ordway's inking on Crisis on Infinite Earths changed the way he inked his own work. Was that Jerry Ordway inking George Perez? I've never actually read those because I just never sought out DC books, and that is my own failing. But Count saying, "God, that series was so good." I need to check it out. Yeah, I never picked up much DC stuff. We all know. We know. I know. Ordway inks Perez on about half that series. Was Ordway known as an inker first or a penciler first, or was it kind of a combination? Because I didn't know that Jerry Ordway was known as a good inker. I mean, I just always thought of him as a penciler, but obviously I don't know his. That was stuff that I never really sought out. Shaka, you were pissed when Perez jumped to DC. So what? He was on Avengers, right? And then did he go over and do JLA kind of thing? When I think of um, George Perez, the first thing that comes to my mind is like DC characters, but then right behind it is like Avengers characters. But again, I don't know. He was kind of before my time ish. I wasn't reading those books. He did JLA and Titans. Ordway's inking on Burns. Fantastic Four is also outstanding. I want to get the Byrne Fantastic Four too. That's another one I should seek out. Ordway started as an inker and was so good he moved on to penciling. One of the few inkers to really make it his go. That's interesting. To have somebody start out as an inker and then they're so good at that. Didn't Mignola start out as an inker too? I get the feeling like that was him as well. I think I remember an interview where he said that Mignola started out as an inker because he thought it would be easy, and then he learned very quickly this is not easy. Shockingly, you're reading some Byrne Fantastic Four as we speak. Mignola started as an inker. Wills Portasio too. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember hearing Wills was an inker to start. Then guys like Al Milgrom went from penciler to inker. Didn't Mignola ink some of the first issue? No, I'm thinking of Sam Keith of Matt Wagner's Mage series, um, which is those early books on Mage where you could tell that Matt Wagner was very, very rough and early in his career, but he sure made it work. Al Milgrom was ready to do whatever needed to be done on a book, from writing to editing to pencils, inks, whatever. Oh, so he was kind of handling it all. Wills was the inker on Art Adams' Long Shot series. Oh, okay. Right. Dan Goodwin sounds like Al Milgrom just loved making comics, right? That's what it sounds like. You're like, I just want to do it all. Anything except digging ditches outside. I will do it. Just don't make me go get a fucking manual labor job. Chuck says, Dan, he was good at it, but he got himself blackballed from the industry. What did he do? Can you tell us? I mean, I could just probably Google it, but that's interesting. Al Milgrom, he's still alive, right? Took a shot at Bob Harris with a hidden message in a comic panel. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It made it to print. Marvel fired him after like 30 years of being there. Dang. I'm flipping through a Wikipedia page, actually. He served as an 8-year stint as an anchor on X Factor from 89 to 97. I remember I think I remember seeing that he was inking Joe Quesada on those issues that he did. So it sounds like he inked everybody. Oh, it says right here in 2001, Milgram was fired from his Marvel staff job when it was discovered he had added hidden slanderous comments against then editor in chief Bob Harris in the background of a page in the comic book Universe X special Spidey. Oh, shit. Like, really? He inked everybody, huh? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just kind of looking at the holy shit. It's under the bibliography in here, and it just goes on and on and on. But for a guy who's been in the industry for so long, like, of course it would. Just keeps going. Wow. To be fair, you probably shouldn't put some slanderous shit about your boss that can fire you anywhere and just think that you're untouchable because it's not how it works when they hold the power to shit can you from your job. There was a bookshelf behind a character, and written on the books was some smack talk about him. That's it's I respect I respect it, but it's also not pretty smart. Oh man. Dan, it sounds like something young me would do. We've all thought about it. I talk some shit about somebody. I think about talking shit about my boss all the time, but I just do it verbally to like one or two people quietly to ourselves, and we all laugh. But I don't leave any physical evidence. I joke about making my password to log in at work, like "fuck this guy," you know what I mean? But I don't actually do that. Chucky, I could look that up if you're wondering about the part where he wrote something. I was just looking at it. Just said here, um, in 2001, a Universe X special Spidey is what it says on Wikipedia, which I know is very reliable. But yeah, I'm actually going to do a Google search here in a little bit. I want to see the actual thing. Well, I think I might need to step off here, fellas, and go check on my children's. Check on my boys. Milgram was an old school inker with thick, chunky rendering lines and solid blacks, really fast, but not the kind of finesse to his line like the image guys wanted. Dan, you can remember the name, but you can't pinpoint out things he's in. Yeah, I definitely know the name, and I remember seeing it all over the place, but I had no idea he did that much stuff. That's crazy. Now I know. But yeah, yeah, Chuck. Thank you guys. It's always fun. It's good to get to do this again and get to have Jessica involved again. So yeah, but I'll catch you guys later.